Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jensine, aka Jungle Naps. I am so excited because today we're doing the Truthful Youtuber Tag, and it's been a long time since I did a tag. And I love these videos because I feel like I get to talk to you guys. You guys get a chance to get to know me a little bit better. And I saw this tag circulating in my subscription feed. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch any of these videos because I want to do this myself. And I don't want anything influencing, you know, my opinions and responses to these. So I'm just going to do this to the best of my ability since I haven't seen an actual tag. But there are some really good juicy questions in here. First things first, I want to show you guys my Dragon Ball Z t-shirt. If you don't know, I'm a huge anime fan. Dragon Ball Z was like one of my favorites back in the day. I was like 9 or 10 when I used to watch it like every day after school, and I saw this and I was like, I gotta have it. So I gotta share. If you guys are anime fans, I got this from the Primitive website. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna read you the first question. Question 1, have you ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decided not to review it? Yes, all the time. So when brands send PR, a lot of people don't know this, but they send this to you in hopes that maybe if you like it, you might feature it in a video or something, but there's never any obligation to review it, unlike a sponsored post or anything like that. So I mean, like every week I receive a ton of stuff and I go through it, and the things that I'm not feeling, like for example, brands will send you a whole shade range of lipsticks or blushes or foundations or concealers, and if I try it and I just decide that it's not, you know, it doesn't look good or it doesn't look like it's worth my time, then I'm not gonna show it. Just because honestly, it takes a lot of time and effort to sit down, film a video, edit it, post it, and through all of that, I feel like if it's not content that's going to be helpful to you guys, then why should I feature it? Just so I can sit here and like rag on a product for like 12 to 15 minutes, I don't feel like that's useful unless it's a really popular product and there aren't any women of color who reviewed it. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, let me sit down, let me tell you the tea. Okay, question number 2, what product do you use alone but don't show or use online? I feel like this is like a really hard one because I feel like makeup wise, I share a lot with you guys, what I'm loving, but I don't like to repeat myself. So a lot of times I'll say it, maybe just like the first couple times while I've used it, and then not mention it later on. And if you're new, then you might not have heard. But one thing, I always have a problem with my smile lines, and I pretty much use the Clarins Instant Smooth Perfect Retouch. If you've been around for a while, you've heard me talk about this. This is a great primer for your smile lines. Another thing is my skincare. I don't talk about my skincare that often. I'm using the new, what is it called? It's like from Fresh. It's called their like Youth Moisturizer or something, and it's in a blue like container. That one I really love. But other than that, I mean, I'm not like keeping products a secret or anything. Okay, question number 3. What product do you want but won't buy because you don't support the brand? Well, this is a hell of a question. Okay, so a lot of people might not know this because I don't think I talk about it very often. I'm usually a very like positive person, and that's the kind of energy I want to bring to this channel. But if you're gonna ask, well, okay, first of all, anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. If the brand owner wasn't such a sickening, disgusting, Voldemort looking person, you know, especially like just a racist, a hater of women of color, I might actually like the products. Because if you take the person away from the brand and you just look at the products, they look like they could be cool, like some unique stuff that I'd like to try out. But I'm never, ever purchasing from him or his brand or anything. I can't support it. The behavior he's, you know, exhibited has been so disgusting, and I really don't believe that this person has reformed their behavior or feel sorry for them. Okay, number 4, do you have any words blocked? Yes. Any like bad word that you can think of in your mind, I have blocked on my Instagram and on my YouTube, just because, number 1, I feel like, look, you know, if someone's attacking you on social media, it's not constructive criticism. It's them acting in a derogatory manner towards you, especially when they don't know you at all. I'm like not about that type of energy ever, so they can be blocked. I also, and some of you guys might not agree with this, but I also block people who are the type of person to like come on a channel and be like, hey, like for like, or sub for sub, or come over to my channel and let's support each other. But then you look, especially on YouTube, you look at your history and you can see that they just subscribed to your channel and they only just came on there to really promote themselves. And it's, to me, it's like the equivalent of showing up to a party and being like, hey, I got a party down the street. You should come over, come check out my party. It's poppin'. And you're like, no, I'm having a good time at this party right here. With that comment, I also want to suggest a good way to promote yourself if you're one of these people and you just don't know. So a good way to promote yourself is to, you know, actually subscribe to the person's channel, watch their content and get a really good feel. Like, don't just watch their content for like 15 minutes. I'm talking about like actually participating in their community. Set notifications, and when they actually put out a video, watch the content, get some good stuff from it, and comment on something meaningful and useful. Some people, if you have a good sense of humor, you can put a great like funny quote in there or whatever, something that you liked about it. That's going to get you way more eyes than just doing sub for sub comments. So that's my long roundabout thing of saying, yes, I do have blocked words, and I do, you know, I just, certain things I can't handle. Number 5, do you delete comments? If so, why? I feel like this kind of ties in with the last question. Yes, I delete comments. If people are verbally attacking me, saying anything derogatory, I can't handle it, I will delete your comment. It's one thing to be like, hey, you know, the lighting in your video is a little bit harsh. Do you mind modifying the settings? That's nothing, you know, but when somebody's like, you beep, 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 it's like, whoa. You are going to be blocked. Your comment will be deleted. Number 6, do you block people? So I feel like this all ties in. Yes, I do. Oh, another thing, I really do block like creepy men. Creepy men online that are like making comments to me like that are unwanted, obviously, because I'm married. You're blocked. Question 7, have you ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with the brand? Honey, the answer is and will forever be no, okay? Hey, pay attention. I really don't care about my relationship with brands that much to where I deem that it's worth lying about a product. For example, the brand Urban Decay, I actually like them a lot. I have reviewed many of their products and trashed it. And I've been really honest with it. And to me, the sign of a really good brand is when they can take constructive criticism, take that feedback and turn it around and improve their product or improve their customer relations or whatever the issue is. It makes me really like respect a brand even more. Question 8, have you ever initially liked a product when you reviewed it and then changed your mind but didn't let your audience know? I do have to say, when I first started doing like makeup content, because I used to be only hair, and I was kind of like dabbling around in makeup, you know, I didn't really know too much. And I remember I used to wear the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. And I didn't really, it was like my first foundation or maybe like my second, but I really didn't know all that about, you know, makeup. And I look back on that and I'm like, oh my God, that foundation made me look like an 80-year-old hag. I'm serious. It was terrible, but I thought I looked good. So I honestly did think I looked good. And then, you know, I never really updated anybody because like I I was like makeup ignorant. Like I didn't know any better. But now obviously when my mind changes or I find something I don't like, let's say I find out that later on a foundation oxidizes in a specific, you know, situation, of course I'm gonna let you guys know. And in fact, one of the things that I started doing was I created my First Impressions Revisited series because I wanted to have a second chance to talk about the newer products that I've reviewed and give you guys any updates or little things that I figured out, you know, I can like sprinkle in the video. Number 9, influencers you don't trust. Okay, let me just preface this by saying, if I mention somebody that you love, this has no influence on this person's character. This is just my personal opinion based on what I've seen and why I feel that way. So, you know, don't be offended or anything. So let's get to it. There are quite a few. So the first one I don't trust is Kathleen Lights. Ever since her situation with saying the N-word, very casually I might add, I'm just not about it. And it also, you know, plays into her behavior and her apology afterwards. I didn't find it to be sincere. And to me, I just don't want to support anybody like that. Number 2, as you guys know, obviously Jeffree Star, not about his behavior. Number 3, okay, so like, I don't know why, but something about this person just makes me feel a little bit uneasy, like he's insincere, and that's James Charles. The man is really, really, really talented. I mean, he can be a face, he can be artistic, he can sing, but there's something about the way that he interacts when he's on social media that makes me think like he's not being completely truthful. And the last person that I have to say is Jaclyn Hill. Like, I just don't trust her. I just feel like she really does know how to sell products very, very, very well. And I feel like sometimes she uses that to her advantage just to make money, but not exactly look out for, you know, her subscribers. Especially, I feel like there's been so many instances where people are wasting their money and they trusted this person's opinion. And obviously, you know, money don't grow on trees. We all gotta work hard for it, okay? Unless you're a trust fund baby, in which case, congrats to you. But yeah, I just feel like there have been way too many drama situations where she says a product's amazing and then everybody's like, whoa, like this is actually crap. Now let's move on to something more positive. Influencers you trust the most. Okay, so I feel like this changes all the time, but I'm gonna be honest. I really like Raw Beauty Christy and Samantha, I want to say Ravendale or Ravendal. I don't know how you pronounce her name. I feel like they're very like upfront. They will let you know if something's crappy, you know. Now, I do have to say, even though they critique certain products because their skin tone isn't similar to mine and maybe they don't know how to do makeup on somebody of my skin tone, you know, I don't exactly relate to everything that they're saying. However, a few influencers who have similar or deeper skin tone to me, I really do trust Jackie Aina. I feel like when I've found a product and been interested and she recommends it and I go to try it and I'm like, okay, you know. Oh, the most recent one that she recommended was the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. I mean, I have it on my face right now. My face looks like butter, okay? It's like putting makeup on a 16-year-old skin. Yes, you guys are probably gonna say, you have such good skin, but I have to work really hard at it. And I always need a blurring primer. That one's bomb. Another person who I really trust right now is, I love Nima Tang. She, not only is she just like a beautiful person inside and out, I feel like she really cares. She will really try a product and give you like an honest to God opinion. Okay, question 11, secret tips or product application you don't show while on camera. So I wouldn't say there's like something that I'm like, oh man, like, you know, I'm just not gonna show this on camera at all. I feel like for me, like if I'm off camera, I do have certain things that I do. Like for example, I always put my primer on first, and I like to let it sink in. I don't like to put my primer on and then immediately put foundation on. I'll put my primer on, I'll do my brows, maybe I'll do my eyes, you know, and then once the primer has sunk into my skin, I'll do my foundation. I think as far as other tips, maybe as far as like actual photo editing, you know, look, I think any influencer who is on Instagram facetunes their face, even just a little bit, you know. But I think, of course, when you're on video, like, you can see somebody's skin, you can really see, versus on Instagram. So for me, like, yeah, I definitely, if I'm like, oh, I can see a couple pores, I'll like lightly go in there. I'm not a fan of like the crazy filtered look where you're like, whoa girl, like you went overboard. But I do it just a little bit. I think that also Photoshop, although it gets a bad rep, Photoshop and Lightroom give you more realistic looking skin-like, you know, like features, as opposed to Facetune, which if you go overboard can look a bit too much. But I mean, yeah, I definitely do that. I feel like it's so normal, you know, at least in the influencer realm. Okay, question 12. Have you ever showed one product but were actually using another? No. No, never. Honestly, I'm like somebody, what you see is what you get. Like, if I'm using something, I'm gonna show you, or I'm just gonna be like, if it's not working out, I'm gonna let you know and be like, this product is trash. Or, you know, I'm just gonna, if it's really like so bad where maybe I just like, it's ruined everything, and maybe I'm filming an Instagram video where like I can't really explain to you how bad it is, I'll just start over. But I wouldn't like fib about something just to get under like a brand's good graces. I just feel like in this day and age, there are so many makeup companies, like, you don't need to do that, you know? I mean, number one, you should always be truthful, but you don't need to lie about that, because just move on to the next makeup company that you like and that's willing to work with you if they see that you like their products. Okay, question 13. Have you ever not disclosed a sponsorship? No. I always, like, that's one of my big number one things, always disclose it. And, you know, like I said, it's all about, you know, having that trust with your community. Like, trust takes a long time to build. I would never want to jeopardize that by not disclosing a sponsorship. So that's the first point. Second point is, the government actually requires you to disclose this. The FTC. If you don't, you can get fined. Like, there are very serious implications. So I ain't playing with my career like that. So I always disclose anything that I do. Number 14. Have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? You know, I have to say I'm very fortunate I have not. I get requests for things, and a lot of companies do want to work with me, and I turn them down because if it's not something I'm 100% into, or I don't get to try it in advance, they just want to send it to me and have me like show you without, you know, for sure knowing if it's like a good product, then I'm not gonna do it. So I've been really lucky, but I've been part of so many like Facebook groups with different influencers, and they talk about these horrific experiences that they have. So unfortunately, I don't have anything juicy to tell you in that category, because I'm just like, I'm always looking out for you guys, and if it looks fishy, like, I'm turning it down. 15. Have you ever bandwagoned with other people's thoughts on a particular product? Well, I have to say, there have been a lot of products where a lot of people were talking about it and I was influenced to purchase it, but I've never actually been like, oh, this is amazing, when it's not, you know? Many times I'll like purchase it and I'll be like, what in the hell is everybody talking about? This sucks. So I'm very truthful in that respect. Number 16. Things other creators do that get on your nerves. Oh my God. I'm one of those people with a lot of little things that just like, they bother me. Okay. The first thing is like hearing mouth sounds, like when somebody like maybe like they swallow loudly or they chew really loudly. I wish I could get into mukbangs or mukbangs, however you say it, but I cannot stand to hear the sound of people eating, and they will literally be on there slurping and smacking their lips together and just swallowing loudly, and I can't be a part of that. Like, okay, for example, when Jackie Aina does her mukbangs on Instagram, I can't. I have to tap through it. I'm sorry, Jackie. Like, I love you, but I cannot hear you chewing on fried chicken. Like, no. It bothers me just now talking about it. And okay, so I do have another thing, and I don't think people do it as much anymore. It's kind of been phased out, but I can't stand when people say, yes, yes. Like, it's horrible. And it's just, no. The whole thing needs to be canceled. I'm so happy people don't say that as much anymore. Ugh. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. Definitely check out some of the videos that are right next to me. If you haven't watched my Get to Know Me tag, even though it's a little old, you should, because I think that's a really fun one. As always, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!